Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever this reaches you. Of course, this week. Of course, I am over in Houston, Texas, sitting in my hotel room, and we're gonna do this week, and yeah. I went over because the hotel where I'm at we're right behind a Burger King. So I walked over to the Burger King and went and got the Bacon King. When I was thinking of Bacon King, I knew it was double patties, and I'm thinking it was okay, similar to the regular size burger. No. 2 Whopper patties, big old giant bun, and the bacon, and oh my God. So I actually I didn't finish the bread part. I wound up saying, well, this is going to be a protein meal, and I just hate the meat, the cheese, and the bacon. So, yeah, I was like, oh, this is a bit much. But I did a workout right before, so, hey, whatever. At least I got the workout done. But, yeah, so I didn't work out all last week. Obviously, we didn't have no power and all that. I'm like, you know what? I ain't worried about it. I'm not worried about it in the least. So, yeah. But I went and did it. I tell you what, I'm sore after this workout today. I did a pretty good one. So, yeah, it's okay. All right, moving on. One thing's for certain, if you do not live in a hurricane zone, you don't have no clue what we go through. I think the closest maybe y'all get to that is when you have blizzards and it puts out your power because the power lines get weighed down by ice or whatever, and boom, you're down for a few days. But difference is, that's winter. I understand the heat. Yeah. I understand needing heat in that situation. I do, and so I do feel your pain with that. But doing this in the middle of the summer, you realize that the biggest part of the hurricane season, where it's really the most active, is right in the dead of summer. I mean, the hottest part starts in late July, goes all the way into late September. So that is not good. And yeah, people don't like Friday the 13th, and obviously, we know what happened with September 11th and all that good stuff. All that, not good stuff, but all that stuff. You know, those are dates that live in infamy. Well, the date, August 29th, is definitely one that lives in infamy in Southeast Louisiana. Why? Well, everybody knows. August 29th, 16 years ago, 2005. Was Hurricane Katrina. August 29th, this year, Hurricane Ida. Almost in the same fashion, too, because the difference was, I think the bulk of this storm hit in the middle of the night, but the power went off prior to that. And I think that's what got a lot of people, and I think that's one of the things that happened, But I mean, we actually could tell time by it, because we lost our power at exactly 6 p.m. on Sunday. On that day, the 29th. We lost power then. Right there. And, well, the funny part was we had gotten it back this past Friday. Exactly 9 a.m. Wow. How did that turn out that way? I don't know. It just happened that way. But, man, to go through a hurricane, it's unreal. And then when you got a son that has all of his ailments that he has, it was rough dealing with his psyche. And, I'll tell this story because it's true. Well, he was bugging us, talking about the last night we didn't have power, which was Thursday night. Oh, I gotta go to my brother's house. I gotta go to Nick's house. We said, well, you can call him, but his grandparents were there. Laura's parents were, who was usually our next door neighbors. They were staying over there because obviously, if they had been in the house with Brendan and Alyssa, they would have much rather go. They would have walked back to their own house, no power, no generator, no heat. No air conditioning. They would have went back to their own house. So thankfully, they went over to Nick and Martha's, and that worked out good. And because they would have been there that last night. I can't do another night sitting in a recliner. Once we did the whole town, window unit, we got the sofas for 4 chairs open up as recliners. So I was on one, Laura was on the other, and then Alyssa and Brendan and Alyssa. Okay. Now, he's like, I can't do another night. Well, lucky, the thing was, he calls his brother Nick, and he tells him, like, look, my wife's sick, the baby's sick, and obviously his Nene and Papa wouldn't have liked the idea of Brendan and Alyssa in the same bed. Obviously both in their 80s, and he wouldn't have liked that at all. So that wouldn't have worked out well. So I said, Brendan, and I told him this all week. I said, the first night they actually stayed in his room, hot. And I'm like, first question out of my mouth was, are you crazy? So we got into the first night. We did get them out into the living room where the window AC unit was. That was under window AC, and then we powered the refrigerator, and the only other things we powered was our basically our phones when they needed a charge. So that was it. You do what you got to do. I did bring a little TV out with a digital box, and had a little gravity antenna, and got the local stations on their HD channels. That was okay, but we only watched the news. When the news went off, the TV went off. We didn't play with the TV. But getting back to what I was saying, I said, Brendan, we got 2 mattresses in the garage. Why don't we drag a mattress in here? Well, you know what? Finally, I went and grabbed the mattress. I told him to come to help me. We dragged that mattress in the house. He and Alyssa slept on the mattress. We didn't hear another word the rest of the night. That was it. So, yeah, that's what I was dealing with. But tomorrow, and I did say this on, what in the world? Who knows? There's something white on my shirt. Anyway, I said on Roxy Talks' broadcast today that, basically, there is a mental health aspect to these storms. So, obviously, George Peppers, who goes by George _1970, we're gonna do the Mental Health Wednesday together tomorrow on YouNow. If you're one of my followers on YouNow and you come watch, if you got time, go ahead and come watch it, because we're going to talk about the psyche of dealing with the mental health aspects of dealing with hurricanes. We would have stayed at home, had the generator, window AC, refrigerator. George was the other hand. They didn't have any of that stuff. They went up and went up to Fort Polk. Well, they were on their way home today. They finally got their power back in Marrero. So we're going to talk about that. We did the stay at home. They did the evacuation. But their evacuation was after the storm. So, but got that, all that. It's just one of those things, Now, let's move on from that, and the Saints home game in Jacksonville, Florida. TIAA Bank Stadium in Jacksonville is waiting to play their season opener against the Packers. Um, if I heard correctly, I think season ticket holders had to buy tickets to this game in Jacksonville. They had already refunded a bunch of money last year from COVID when they didn't let a lot of people in the stadiums. Now they buy this year, and then wait, you got to go spend $68 a ticket just like everybody else? You would think if it was your home game, season ticket holders would have an option to get there behind over to Jacksonville and have the ticket for the game. No, you got to buy extra tickets. Okay. Those of you who can, do. Those of you who can't, won't. And my cousin Sarissa and her husband Doug, they actually living in Jacksonville now. I bet you they're going. I bet you, I'll put money in the bank, they're going because they live there in Jacksonville. And they're still Saints fans, so I'm sure they'll go. I am looking up, and you know why. LSU. Are we looking at a rerun of last year? I'm just curious. Are we looking at a possible 4 or 5 win season? I know this for a fact. If that happens, Ed Ogeron, who usually has a short shelf life wherever he goes, he doesn't stay anywhere long. I'll bet you any money he's gone. I bet you, I'll put money in the bank, he'd be out the door. First, you go get a first-time defensive coordinator. Then you go get 2 guys off of the Carolina Panthers staff. Okay, granted, Joe Brady's staff, his offensive staff, he's offensive coordinator. That performance, I think, and everybody said, oh, it was a terrible performance by LSU, but I think it's a combination of 2 things. I think they played terrible. UCLA played fantastic. I think they played extremely well. I mean, it got to the point where they were doing anything they wanted, whenever they wanted. And that young man Charbonnet, boy, would he look good in black and gold. Would he look good in a Saints uniform? Wow. I like it. George Peppers is the first one I heard say that, but I like it. I was like, yeah, I can imagine that. Imagine putting him and Kamara in the same backfield. Oh, boy. Sorry, NFL. But anyway, I don't know. But you go get first time ever defensive coordinator, and then first time offensive coordinator and passing game coordinator. They did work 1 year with Joe Brady, and I think they worked, well, Mangum, was it Pete's? Pete's worked with him at LSU. That's right. Or was it both of them? Okay, whatever. But they are both back. Offensive line. I don't care if they would have had Miles Brennan. I don't care if they would have had Joe Burrow. With that line blocking? Are you kidding me? That is just, and you got all 5 starters come back, and you're supposed to have good recruits come in, and you block like that? Boy, too bad this is not pro football. You'd be looking for a whole line. You'd be cutting them all and bringing in all new people. Or at least more different people on your own team right now, being college. So, oh my God, was that terrible? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm just lost for words. Louisiana Tech lost a game they shouldn't have to Mississippi State. Mississippi State's terrible. And that Georgia Clemson game, all the hype, that turned out to be about as boring as watching paint dry. Anyway, The one team that I'm definitely in the Cajuns. The Cajuns, they were just totally outmatched by Steve Sarkisian and the Texas Longhorns. They were just totally outmatched. They got that game to 21-12 though. And why did Napier decide he's going to go for an onside kick in the third quarter? That probably was what did that, man. But the one team, I got to take my hat off, the Tulane Green Wave. Oh, my God. They were down 37-14 at halftime to Oklahoma. In Norman, because remember they had to move the game up there because they couldn't play in New Orleans. 37-14. Oklahoma scores 3 points in the second half. That's it. Tulane come back to within 40-35. And had the ball. And if Pratt would have gotten the first down, I think Tulane wins that game. I think hands down Tulane beats Oklahoma. Oklahoma has the old Choklahoma label. I really believe that. Totally believe that. He gets that first down. Tulane's going to win that game. They're going to score and they're going to win. And that would have been the upset of the freaking weekend. But, yeah. I tell you what, I bet you right now LSU would not want to play Tulane. As for LSU, they play at McNeese State. And, Ogeron's son, Cody, is the starting quarterback for McNeese State. And they're coming into Tiger Stadium. And, LSU should win that one. But can you imagine if they don't? Can you imagine if McNeese State finds a way to beat LSU? Wow. Would that be? That would be a statement. That would be a statement and a half. Shoot. Oh, my God. I don't even want to imagine it. Wow. No. Bad enough we had a hurricane, but then we had to deal with that performance. Good thing it was in California. I think they would have, if it would have been at Tiger Stadium, I think the fans would have gotten pitchforks and they would have been waiting for Ogeron to come out of the football ops at the end of the game, and I guarantee you, they'd have been chasing his ass down the road. Oh, God. I mean, I think, this defensive coordinator, he was just, Chip Kelly just outmatched him. I mean, that's all it was. The old coach, great offensive mind, against brand new defensive coordinator, took him to task. But you're seeing the same stuff you saw last year. And what's the answers? What's the answer? I think the answer is going to be at the end of the season. I think Ed Ogeron's going to be gone. Unless they turn it around drastically right now in a hurry. Because I tell you what, you let go of Ogeron, my phone call, I'm calling Charlotte. And I am getting Joe Brady back. I will say, Joe Brady, come be my head coach. I already got Mangum and Pete and Mangum already in place. Come on. Come back to LSU. You're the head coach. Oh, I'd do it in a heartbeat. I just realized the time. I've been talking away. So I'm going to go ahead and go. And as I always say, God willing, I'll talk to you in a little while. Bye.